This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you click that bell and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to run ads on the channel, it's jordantowermedia at gmail.com. Okay, so young Dolph goes to the Breakfast Club today. We knew this was happening because Yo Gotti went to the Breakfast Club 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about the Dolph situation. You know, he read a text message of where he was trying to sign Dolph, basically. Everybody said, oh, what's the last text message we did? That was back from 2012. Now, before I get into this, okay, I like Gotti's music, and I like Dolph's music, but this situation is kind of lame because there's nothing real behind it, okay? Like, if you really look at this, take yourself out of being a fan and just look at it as a human being. And if you know anything about the streets, the only reason I know stuff about the streets is because I've dealt with a lot of street people. Like, Cormega taught me pretty much everything I know in the very beginning. So I kind of understand it on another level, okay? But, you know, I know some people, well, you don't understand. I've never lived it, but I understand it a little bit, okay? So in this situation, you know, Dolph went into it softly like this. You know, first he talked about some other stuff. Then he said, I'm not going to let someone trick me out of the industry. We have this term called tricking people out the streets, you know? I'm not going to let someone trick me out the industry. So I'm not going to respond with violence. I'm going to respond with that bag. I'm going to put music out. What would you rather me respond with, music or violence? You know, that's basically what he's saying. He doesn't say it clear like that, but he said, I respond this way. I have big homies. Just like, you know, Envy asked him, like, do you have any big homies that, you know, give you advice? And he's like, yeah, I got people that, you know, because like sometimes you want to react out of emotion. You need good people around you to say, whoa, chill. That's not a good move. Do this. And sometimes you need that to come back to earth, you know, and respond properly. Then they get into it. Charlemagne goes, and why are they trying to make this beef about you and Gotti? So he gets into it. He said, I'm not about to, this whole situation is lame because it's over a girl and over because I didn't sign to him. He's like, that text message you guys are talking about is back from 2012 when he was trying to sign me. And then he tried to make it like he didn't do a feature on time or something. I remember this time, 2012, 11, Drummer Boy called me and said, yo, there's this guy named Dolph. I'm doing this. He was on some single, Coop Season or something like that. And I was like, wow, okay. So, and then I knew Drummer Boy doesn't just work with anybody. I knew Dolph was dropping the bag, you know. You saw him with big features like Gucci Man and 2 Chainz, and he paid his way into having these features. He had money, he paid for features, and then he got cool with the people afterwards, especially because he's talented, okay? His music is good. He just dropped an album, Thinking Out Loud, that did just as well as Gotti's I Still Am. And Gotti signed to a major label, and Dolph is independent. I mean, this guy is doing his thing. And I think that is another thing that infuriates Yo Gotti, you know, honestly. Because he wanted to sign Dolph. He was just a little late on pulling the trigger, you know. Like, Dolph goes into this and says, you know, everybody was reaching out to him. His manager, Pepper, his DJ, everything. They wanted to sit down with me. I finally sit down with him. And this is back like around 2012, he said. And then Gotti threw his own. I always wonder what happened to Zedzilla, okay? And I know what happened with Starlito because there was always tension there a little bit because he was frustrated. But he said he threw Zedzilla and Starlito under the bus. He said I couldn't sign to him after that because, you know, I just met him and he's doing that. He said, I don't have to hold your hand like Zedzilla and Starlito. You're your own boss. And then he said even Gotti's manager said, you shouldn't really sign to him because you're doing your own stuff. You don't need to be signed anywhere. You know, you're offering yourself everything that he can offer you at this point. And Gotti signs everybody from the city, like Black Youngsta, Moneybagg Yo, you know. These are guys that are doing their thing, and he's just kind of like, he wants to be the outlet from Memphis. And I think Gotti started his career like going at people like 3-6 Mafia for no reason, going at 8 Ball MJG. And you know what? That didn't bother me back then. I worked with Gotti in 08, you know, and he wasn't really known outside of the Midwest. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, he wasn't. But I saw something in him. You know, I saw him as the new Jeezy. And he was, you know, but right now he's very industry, you know, but he's still very street, you know, like at the same time. And So, Dolph basically made it clear that, this is over a girl. This is over his Gotti's baby mama. This is why he has that song out. Don't play with me, play with your bitch. Like shit. Like, and then it's obvious a CMG member gets arrested every time there's an attempt on Dolph's life. So this just needs to chill out. And then Envy was kind of talking like, is there any way you guys could talk this out or anything? No, when someone makes an attempt on your life, there's no way to talk it out and be cool and cordial. But Dolph said he's not worried about that. He's just doing his own thing. They were worried about that, not him. I believe him, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, I like Gotti still. I like Dolph, but it's just like this is a messy situation because I don't see Dolph really. I didn't see him subliminally dissing. Subliminal dissing Yo Gotti before Gotti does with him, like it's obvious, so I believe Dolph in this situation. What else did he talk about in this? He said, ask anybody. He gave references. I paid my way in the game. That this was not over a verse. I would have paid Gotti for a verse if I wanted a verse. And then he said Gotti wanted me to send him one of my songs with an open verse so he could get on it. It's like he said he put that on his kids. I mean, you don't put shit like that on your kids unless it's true, Now, Dolph didn't want to speak about this, but, he kind of has to somewhere. He said, this is the last time I'm going to speak on it. And he said, he also mentioned that he helped Yo Gotti's family members with money before, and he never talked about any of this other stuff before. So Gotti's kind of bringing it out of him. When they keep going at Dolph, more truth comes out and exposes the real situation, and it is lame when you think about it. Now, I'm not going to judge Gotti on his, this, like I'm going to still listen to Gotti's music. I'm going to still listen to Dolph's music. We're in the music industry now. When you keep trying to bring the streets into the music industry, that's when shit just gets so stupid. There's a point where you just have to leave it behind. That's why Meek Mill, even though I want Meek Mill free, because I believe this is really unjust. He shouldn't be on probation for 11 years. And most people would mess up in 11 years of probation, right? But Meek keeps certain people around him that get him into trouble. I'm not talking about the pop and the wheelie thing. I'm talking about the incident in the airport, people not telling him not to do these type of drugs and stuff, Meek Mill should just keep a smaller circle and not as aggressive, maybe hire professional security or something. I don't know. I'm not telling him how to live his life, but, if you keep involving yourself with the streets and the music business, bad things can happen, But anyways, guys, what do you guys think about this issue? I'm going to link the part where it starts below on The Breakfast Club, and you guys can watch it for yourselves. And let me know what you guys think. Don't get all crazy. Let's just talk about it. Anyways, hit that bell, hit that subscribe button. If you want to advertise on the channel, it's jordantowermedia@gmail.com. And I will check you guys on the next video. Thank you so much.